Yo, what is going on, everybody? Today we are going to be bringing in another tier list, but we are going to be ranking every down air in the game. So this is going to be the first that I'm actually doing that, and I think I'm going to try to do every move in the game possible that, would make sense to put on a tier list. But we're going to start off with down airs today. So this shouldn't be all too crazy of a video, but hopefully you guys do enjoy it, and let me know what you would like to see next. But let's go ahead and hop into ranking these down airs. Alrighty, so getting us started off, we're just going to go in order here. We have Civi's down air. Now Civi's down air can kind of be looked at in different ways. Obviously it is very, very good for spiking and setting up for tech chases on the stage whenever he gets it in a combo, but it is really good at spiking and it will kill you so early. And we all know Civi is so good at putting you in situations where down air is pretty much going to hit. He hits you with one up tilt, he hits you with one down tilt, especially at ledge at like 40, and you literally will just die from that. So I think we are safe to put Civi's down air in broken. Tina's down air. Tina's down air is a really interesting one. I would say it's not really the most consistent with spikes. I wouldn't say. I would probably say that more people use her down B to actually get more spikes, but her down air can be kind of like on shield. If you're playing against a player that doesn't really know what they're doing and they don't know how to punish it, then you can kind of get away with it, and it's kind of just annoying. I remember when I first started playing the game, I would get hit by it all the time on shield and like not really know what to do, but I was just terrible at the time. Yeah, I don't think her down air is really all that good. I think it's usable for sure. Like you could get by with using it in a game a couple of times for sure. But like I said, for spikes, most of the time you'll use her down B. But that's not to say that her down air isn't good. It's just not really all that great. But I would say it's at least acceptable. You can throw it out and not really have to worry about the most of a punish because it sends her straight up to the sky. So it's good in its own uses, but I wouldn't say that it's bad. So we're going to throw this in acceptable. Sophia's down air. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in acceptable too, because her down air is very good for 2 or 3 reasons. So obviously the one thing is spiking. Whenever you can get the spikes with Sophia, her down air is insanely good. The problem is her consistency with getting the spikes. It's kind of like Marth getting a sweet spot, or a tipper, I guess I should say. But her down air, whenever you can hit the sweet spot of it, it is very, very good, and it sends pretty far. It's really good from whenever you grab the ledge and your opponent is going to recover right under you, and you ledge drop, do a down air. And if you ledge drop down air and actually can get the sweet spot, then it's good. The other thing that is good for is even if it doesn't get the spike, it sends out a pretty like outward angle. So even if you don't get the spike, it puts your opponent in a position where they're having to, force themselves to recover from horizontally. And some characters don't have, the best horizontal recovery. So it can put you in a pretty bad spot if you do get hit by that down air. The main thing that it's really good at is building her ultimate, because hitting down tilts is good, but if you get a grab at like low percent from like 0 to 50%, you pretty much will always get the down angled moves charged up. And like I said, you don't really want to be throwing out counter too much when playing Sophia. Like I said, her down tilt is good, especially at 2 framing, I will say, but you might not hit the 2 frame all the time. So I would say like to go ahead and charge her down angled moves up. I personally use down air after back throw all the time. So I think her down air is very good. I don't think it's broken, but I do think it's good enough. It's definitely acceptable. It's not bad in any way, I wouldn't say. And it can sometimes be safe on shield. It's also a pretty good out of shield option as well. So I definitely throw that in acceptable. Cupid has one of the weird down airs. I'm not really sure, and I might get some hate on this one if it's quoted to be bad. I personally don't think that Cupid's down air is all that, and you really only see it much for combos. Cupid is going to be on stage most of the time. I would say for whenever his opponent is off stage, he's going to be using up tilt for 2 framing and ledge trapping. He doesn't really edge guard too much, and if he does, he's just going to throw out clouds and then shoot the arrows down. So I feel like you really don't go off stage that much with Cupid to go for a down air, but his down air is really good when it comes to combos at low percent. Down tilt into down air pretty much sets up for either a tech chase, or it just sets up for combos in general. Down tilt, down air, nair, and then chase, or down tilt, down air, up air. Those are Cupid's combos at early percentages. I wouldn't say that his down air is really that good though. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna actually change the name of this tier to meh, because I don't want people to think that the down air itself is bad, like completely bad, this entire tier. But I would say meh as in like you can use it, but it's not really something that you're gonna focus your character's kit around, let alone it be something to be, super scared of in that character's kit. So we'll put it in meh for now. Alrighty, Macalon. Do I really need to say much about this character's down air? I think he 100% has the best down air in the entire game, and I honestly think that he always has. Cannot think of a character that has a better down air than Macalon, or has ever had a better down air than Macalon. This character's down air does so damn much. Can be safe on shield if spaced correctly. It makes you so scared to shark under him, because if you get hit with down air, you are eating 20%. It is the best 2 framing move in the game, I am pretty sure, if I'm not wrong. It is so good at edge guarding, because you go out, Macalon has a very good recovery as well. So whenever he chases you out, all he's got to do is throw at that down air. It has a super, super long active hitbox. It is pretty much going to hit, and it doesn't spike. It always will send you outwards. So you are pretty much not making it back. And the problem with it is Macalon's recovery is so good. Like I said, whenever he gets a down air and you get hit, you're pretty much forced to air dodge if you got hit horizontally and your character's recovery isn't all too tricky, all too good. Most characters in the game, I think, are going to have to air dodge. That just sets him up for an easy side B off stage, and you're never making it back from that if any Macalon player knows how to hit the sweet spot, which is so easy to do. So you just get spiked. But even then, if he doesn't go for side B, he can go for another forward air. He can go for a back air if he turns around. He can go for whatever he wants to pretty much at that point. Macalon's down air is so stupid. And there's probably more that I'm forgetting about for sure, but the two framing is obviously one of the things. It does 20%. It is somewhat safe on shield. You can't shark under it, and it edge guards, and it's just way too good. It's broken. Best down air in the game. Mr. 5. Mr. 5 has one of those down airs that I would personally say is meh. It's not really something that Mr. 5 cares for to go for a lot. I mean, whenever you're off stage, he doesn't, if you're under him, obviously he's going to go for down air. He doesn't really have anything else to go for, but his down air doesn't spike until like really high percentages. So you're most of the time not going to be killing with Mr. 5's down air. You can, especially if your opponent, lost their jump and they just won't make it back after the down air, but it doesn't really have as much hit stun. And like I said, it doesn't send that far whenever you get hit off stage or anywhere, so you can most of the time make it back from Mr. 5 unless you're like, really far to the ground and he goes all the way down there. But who's going to do that when you have AI terminal to do all the work for you and you just sit on stage? There's really not much of a reason to do down air off stage with Mr. 5 unless your opponent is all the way at the bottom and you just feel like being kind of stupid and going off stage with Mr. 5. So I would say his down air is pretty meh. Chili down air. Chili down air is really odd. I will say the one thing about Chili down air that I've been seeing a lot in these JP tournaments, these guys will literally just up B in disadvantage and instantly down air like right after. Kind of like what Sonic does in Smash Ultimate. Chili down air is like a really good get off me tool. Obviously it can be baited out and it can be punished, but it's not the most punishable thing. Like if you do it high in the sky and she can act out of her down air, it's not really one of those moves that you'll see a lot for spiking because Chili's normally going to be on stage trying to set up for Rust, and if she is going to be going for a spike, she just goes for forward air because it's so good. But her down air is good in the sense that it gets her back to the ground quickly, and that's kind of where she wants to be until she's putting you in a juggling situation, So I would say that her down air is acceptable. I think it has more uses than Mr. 5 and Cupid's down airs for sure. So I can put it in acceptable, and it can spike as well. Like if your opponent is in a pretty bad position, it can get the spike, but it's not going to do it that often, I would say, because like I said, most people are just going to go for forward air, even though it's a little bit slower. But down air can get her out of disadvantage pretty easily, I would say. So I'll put it in acceptable. Alice. Now, Alice is one of those characters that I would say, Alice is a character that I can say that her down air is good. It is a little bit on the slower side. The thing about Alice is her down air is really good with the sharp scissors sticker, which gives her a longer acting down air and it makes it 2 hits. So it pretty much just makes it more active, but it is actually pretty strong, I would say. I feel like it's Mr. 5's down air, but just a little bit better, You can do it in combos like side B. You can do side B angle down into down air, which would set up for like a tech chase kind of. The problem with it is, like I said, it's pretty slow, so you can't really act out of it as fast as you would like. If they buff her down air to make her be able to get back down to the ground whenever she does down air on stage, side B down air, she can get back to the ground almost as fast as the opponent can because the opponent will always be able to tech before Alice can. She can actually get grabbed out of hitting her down air, like once she hits it, like I said, the opponent's going to tech first. They can punish her for doing that. So one of her big things that I need to start doing myself now that I'm playing her a lot more is going off stage and be reversing the bubbles and then getting a down air spike after that, because that pretty much works almost every time. I've never not gotten like, a spike when I've went for it. I just don't hit it as consistent, but the spike is normally like always going to happen once you get the bubbles off stage and then just go for a jump spike. But I think her down air is pretty acceptable for one of that reason specifically. I think her down air is pretty acceptable for that reason alone because it is really good at ledge guarding. I think her down air is acceptable for that reason alone because it is really good at getting edge guards, especially on characters that have a straight up vertical recovery and can't really get horizontally that much and can't really get back to ledge horizontally. I think it's pretty good for that. But yeah, the combo thing is kind of iffy, I would say. Like I said, her getting punished after doing a move is kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie, but her down air is actually pretty good, I won't lie. Alrighty, Lan's down air, man, there's something about his down air, like getting hit by it feels wrong because he has so many better moves. Every single one of his aerials is better than his down air. I think his down air is his worst aerial, and it's really not even close. Back air would be the next thing that comes close to it, but even back air has way more usage than his down air does. The thing about it is, like, when Lan gets you off stage, His movement in the air is so good, especially when he has the down B buff. Forward air is going to do everything that down air could do as an edge guard except spike. You get hit by forward air with Lan, you get pushed so far off stage that Lan has enough time to make it back to stage with a jump and then run right back off and forward air you again. The only time you'll really ever see down air spikes off stage, or any time, like any usage of down air just in general, is if Lan is at the bottom, he gets a forward air and you have to air dodge and he just kind of jumps and waits. Or he can up B and like wait, then he'll down air you just to be saucy. I've seen that in a couple of clips, but really that's all you'll see from it. So his down air is pretty meh. I wouldn't say that it's the worst down air in the game. Like, it does have its uses, like I said before, but it's not really all that crazy of a down air, to be honest with you. So honestly, I'm probably gonna put it like down here. I think Mr. Fives might even be a little bit better than it, so I'm gonna put it right there. And this really doesn't matter how I'm ordering this type of tier list, to be honest with you, but I'm just gonna do it for the sake of my brain. But yeah, I think it's probably worse than Cupid and Mr. Fives. Alrighty, now on to Derek. I think Derek's down air is a little bit better than Tina's, although they kind of do the same thing. Derek's just isn't as committal. Derek can bounce off of shields just like Tina can, but I feel as if his is a little bit better because of what he has to back up him trying to get punished. Him being able to down air and then kind of back off and then use a forward air to maybe stop the opponent from punishing him is a little bit better than what Tina has to try to do the same thing. She can't really do much after doing a down air, like to try to keep her safe. She's either just gonna get hit or she has to drift back, or whatever. But I feel like Derek having bullets makes his a little bit better to kind of throw out, and I also feel like it's a little bit more spammable. Him obviously being able to recover with the grenades by bouncing off of them also kind of makes his a lot cooler, but I think his is a lot better in the sense of spiking as well, because his down air doesn't have a sour spot. So if he hits you with it, you are pretty much going down to the blast zone. He's pretty good at killing, I will say, with down air. You won't really see it as often, I'm sure, as you think, but Derek's so quick and he can kind of just get off the stage a lot quicker than I feel like most people would kind of expect. So if you're trying to go low and he's like standing at ledge, he just runs off and then goes for down air, he's gonna make it back obviously, and you're not going to. So I think Derek's down air is a little bit better than Tina's, I would say. And I guess while I'm at it, I'm gonna reorder this a little bit. I think Sophia's is better than Tina's. I think Alice's is better than Chili's. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Alrighty, now Sia actually receiving a buff to her down air. I think her down air now is actually really good. I think it has a lot more potential to use than it did before. Her down air was always like kind of iffy. Like, I feel like the sour spot was way bigger than her sweet spot was. So you really wouldn't get too many down air spikes as often, I feel like, especially on certain characters, like the smaller characters, you're not really ever getting a spike on them. But I feel like now it made it a little bit easier since they enlarged the hitbox and optimized the animations for it. So I think it's actually pretty good from what I've been seeing so far. Now, this is only day 2 of the patch, so I'm making this kind of early, but obviously majority of these characters didn't get their down airs changed anyways, so I'm fine with making this tier list. But Cupid and Sia are one of the 2 that actually did get buffs to their down airs, so I think Sia's is a little bit better now. All right, Yuri is also one of those down airs I can 100% put in acceptable. Her down air is super damn good. The one good thing about it is the fact that she can combo with it at I would say maybe like 0 to 55-ish%. Down tilt into down air is really good. It sets up for tech chases. Her spike is actually really strong as well. The only thing I can say about hers is her sweet spot is very small as well because her sword is so thin. But when you do get the sweet spot, you are not making it back. That shit is super strong. She also has an easier chance of, I feel like, of trying to get an up B spike off stage, but I feel like people still go for her down air because you can go for it like right at the ledge and you don't have to fall off. It's kind of like Sia's as well. Sia, I forgot to mention that about Sia. She also can do that a lot better now. You can stay on stage and kind of down air the stage and get a 2-frame and it will still spike. So I feel like that was a really good buff for Sia as well. But Yuri can kind of do the same thing. I just don't think her hitbox is as big, but I think she has a lot more uses for her down air in neutral, which make it a lot better because she can get combos from it. So I would put hers in front of Sia in acceptable. S17. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This down air has been one of the worst down airs in the entire game, if not the worst down air. Genuinely, I can't think of a worse down air right now. Like, genuinely looking at all of these characters, I don't think there is a character that has a worse down air than S17. She has never had a good down air. Now, the one thing that I can say about her down air is that it does combo into up air at certain percentages and terrible DI. But the problem with it is, one, it's a suicide down air. So if you are trying to be at the ledge and you're trying to reverse down tilt or just down tilt in general to try to get a 2-frame and you accidentally run off the stage, you lost your stock and there's no coming back. Can use it if she gets knocked up high in the sky. She can use the down air to make it back to the ledge a little bit faster instead of having to float all the way down. But even then, like, you can spam counter and kind of just make your way safe back to ledge anyways. But either way, her down air is just so bad. Like, I feel like the only time you will see the down air is when idiots are playing with her and they're just trying to charge up the down angled moves for her. But even then, you can do that with counter if you know you're going to react, because her counter is actually really freaking good, and down tilt is safe on shield. So you might as well just run up, turn around, down tilt, run away, and you probably have half of a charge. Like, it's not worth doing her down air ever. It is so bad. Miko 100% has one of the best down airs in the game, and I think it's kind of always been like that. If you are a good enough player to react and know when people are going to have their 2 frames be active, and Miko can punish them so easily with down air, you 9 times out of 10 will not make it back. His down air is so damn strong, and it's so good. It's so satisfying to hit as well, especially when it's on a 2 frame. You're just sitting there waiting, and he's like, you know, hovering over the ledge like this, and then he knows the exact moment that you're about to grab the ledge, and he just short hop and then slams on your freaking noggin. Miko has one of the best downers in the game. I cannot lie. I love using it. I love getting hit by it. It's one of those weird things. Like, it's obviously not satisfying to get hit by if you're trying to make it back to stage, but it's something about the sound that it makes and how fast you get sent to the blast zone makes it super nice. So Miko's definitely got one of those broken down airs, I would say. Heracles is a weird one now that his up B down air got nerfed. I feel like 8 out of 10 times that I did get hit by the up B down air, it's sweet spotted. So I don't know how big his sweet spot actually is on his foot, but I feel like it's actually pretty big. He definitely has an acceptable down air. There's really no questions about that. And you can use it in neutral because it combos. You can combo up air into down air sometimes if people don't DI or if they don't jump. Sometimes that hits. You can also do the same thing that I was mentioning with Sia earlier. You can down air on the ledge and not have to go all the way off the stage. His down air also is somewhat like Macalon's, how it sends outwards if it does get the sweet spot or the sour spot, sorry. So it can also make it kind of hard to get back to stage, but most of the time you'll just use forward air to do edge guarding. But his down air is acceptable. You can definitely use it in some pretty easy scenarios, I would say. And when it does get the spike, you are also dying for sure. So do not let Heracles get a read on your air dodge, because you're either getting forward aired or you're getting down aired if they're just feeling spicy with it. I would say that his down air has actually got some pretty good usage. I think I might put it behind Yuri's though, to be honest. I think hers still might be a little bit better, even though her sweet spot isn't as big. I think her being able to use it in combos a little bit more makes it a little bit better than Heracles, but I could be wrong. If there's any argument on that one, I'm not going to be mad. I feel like Yuri's might just be a little bit better. Sandy down air. Sandy down air is probably the strongest down air in the game, actually, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong about this, but I'm not really certain. But the reason that I'm saying that it probably is the strongest down air in the game is because, one, the angle that it sends at, generally at any percent, it's just a lot further than I'm sure you would think. You could be at 10% down, triple down tilt into down air. It can kill some characters. I'd say maybe 10 to 15-ish percent is like when it starts to get really scary. At 30%, it will straight up just kill you. You won't make it back, and it doesn't make much sense. I don't know what it has to do with like the triple down tilt being a part of it, because I feel like if you're trying to recover and you just get down there like 2 framed, I feel like you'll live it. But I swear, triple down tilt in the dare, you are not making it back. It might just have something to do with how far you get knocked out at, you know, around the 40-ish range, and you can't ever tech the stage. Regardless of the fact, his down air is broken as hell, and that's not just for spikes as well. Like, you know, him being able to combo with Bahi blow and swallow kick. Of course, he has jab, 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 down B, down B, down B into dare at like 50%, and that's mind you, that's taking you into the sky as he's doing it, and down air will still kill at like 50% depending on how high you are, obviously. But it also can send into tech chase scenarios on like center stage. If you do jab, 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 down B, down B, down B into down air, sends you into a tech chase, which can allow him to obviously read that and go for more combos. I think Sandy's down air is actually pretty broken. Alrighty, now Magician, I'm gonna be honest with you, he probably has the most like man down air. I feel like rarely will ever get a spike on his damn down air. I think he probably has the sourest down air of all down airs in the damn game. That's not to say that it's not good, because it actually is really good for certain uses, and I'll talk about that the more that I have watched JP. In terms of like it spiking and the usage for it like off stage, it doesn't really have all too much. You can go off stage with it, of course, but most of the time Magician is going to be on stage trying to set up for a statue, or just set up for, you know, something that is going to make his ledge trapping a lot better. But if he feels like going off stage, he can definitely down air you, but 9 times out of 10, like dead ass 9 times out of 10, it is going to send you back to the stage. It sends you upwards whenever he hits his sour spot, and that is not good. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. The good part about the down air is, like I said, I've been watching a lot of JP tournaments, and one thing that these JP players will do is they will be on ledge and they will, you know, jump off of ledge and they'll immediately throw out a down air, And I think in JP, at least, all of the Japan players know that magicians are going to do this, so they don't contest it. But I think if you were to contest it, you would get hit. His sour spot will send upwards. So that's a very bad thing. So imagine, and like I said, I don't know if this works. It's kind of just speculation, but imagine knowing that a magician player is going to jump off of the ledge, but he instantly down airs as he jumps, and you trade with it, or, you know, don't trade with it. You get hit by it and it sends upwards, and it leads him into an up air, which could possibly kill you at like 80% if he gets the tipper on it, because Magician's Hat does have tippers if you didn't know. But I feel like that's probably why all of these magicians that play in Japan go for a jump down air. And I'm talking like, damn, you watch a JP magician set, they are always doing it. Always. They are always doing it. So it's also pretty good to use on shield, because it can cross up. If you just like, you can do like instant jump out of shield, like out of shield jump and cross up down air. And sometimes he can't be punished off of that. But in terms of like, I don't know if I would put it in acceptable, because it is really meh for its usage. And like I said, I don't even really know if that's why the JP players do that, but it is a pretty man down air, I would say. Tong. Tong also has a pretty man down air, I would say. I don't know if I want to put it above or below Magicians, to be honest with you, because Tong's down air really only has, I would say, like 1.5 uses. The only reason that I say 1.5 is because off stage, you're not really going to use it. You can, but most of the time you'll use back air, because it has a better time spiking, I feel like, than her down air does. You just have to time it a little bit better. Another thing is Tong is never going to be off stage. So that's why I say half. You're never going to really go off for an edge guard with Tong. And if you do, you're probably going to go for Nair, because it has it just sends in a terrible spot. Regardless of if you get the spike or not, depending on the character that you're fighting, if you just run off in Nair, I would say a good amount of the cast is probably not going to make it back from that, because of the angle that Nair sends at. But the full reason on why I would say that her down air is somewhat usable is because around like the 40-ish to 60-ish range, I won't even know if I'll say 60, I'll say like 40 to 50, forward throw into down air sets up for tech chases, and that is really annoying. That is Tong's strongest thing, is tech chase reads, controlling where you're going to land and grabbing you right after it. You can go for a forward throw into down air, read where they're going to go. Tong also has some pretty good movement on the ground with her wave dash and crouch dashing. So that's, you know, all in all, it's just really scary to get hit by or to get grabbed by Tong. You can go for a forward throw into down air at certain percentages, and it will read into tech chases, which pretty much means that the next time she grabs you, she is going to do forward throw into up air, and you are probably going to die. I would say that it does have its uses, but it is in a vacuum even, it's not really all that good, I would say. So it's pretty meh. Thanatos is really weird as well, because his down air is just so damn slow. Thanos is kind of hard to rate. I'd feel like it goes somewhere in between these guys. There are literally only two things that Thanatos' down air is used for. The first one is shield breaks, because it does so much damn shield damage. And the second one is edge guarding himself. Thanatos' recovery is so bad, and his down air is also so slow, that he is really one of the only characters that he can edge guard with his own down air. You will rarely see his down air like go off stage. At least you can also do the spiking the stage type of thing, like spiking the edge of the stage and try to get the spike. Since it is so slow, it is so hard to time to where you can get that and it actively work. But I don't know, it's not really all that good. The reason I'm throwing it in man, not in please delete, is because I have seen people get spiked by this move, and it's not just on Thanatos. Like, if you really know how to time his down air, you can probably get a good amount of spikes with it. It's just not as common as I would say, but the shield breaking usage it's good. It's just you can use side B instead, but down air does make people, you know, kind of get scared, and that will force them out of shield, so where they don't shield. And Thanatos actually does have some pretty decent neutral, I will say. So if you can force your opponent to not shield, that makes his game plan just a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie. So I think it does have some uses. You just kind of really have to know how to play around it and use it. Tarara. Now, Tarara is one of those down airs that I would say is acceptable. She is also one of the characters that gets that same type of sticker buff whenever she has one. I really don't know where I'm going to put her, because her down air alone is fucking terrible. But when she is running the down air sticker with Pururu, it infinitely buffs her down air. Like, it makes it so much better. Tarara doesn't really edge guard that much, I'm not going to lie, especially when it's like whenever your opponent is recovering from below. Down air gives her the ability to do that, and Pururu's spike is so strong, it can kill you at like 30. So if you run off and just get the down air, you're pretty much going to get the stock. I don't really see that as often, but the main reason I feel like is because I don't really see that many Tararas. But the fact that it is a thing and it leads into combos. Obviously, it leads into combos on stage. It can lead into 0 to deaths. It makes it a lot better than just putting it in meh. So with that being said, I will probably throw hers like, honestly, I'll throw it like right here. I think because it can lead into down airs and it is somewhat safe on shield if spaced correctly, she can definitely be up there in like the mid tier of down airs. I think it's relatively good. But if you do not have the sticker on, that shit is in please delete. Like, it's so bad. But that sticker, it gives it a super heavy amount of usage. So we'll put that in acceptable. Cookie and Can. Cookie and Can's down there is, I'm going to put it in meh. The reason I'm going to put it in meh is simply because it has so much in lag. That move has insane amount of in lag. Don't get me wrong. It is good, and you can spike with it for sure. Cookie is also one of those characters that isn't going to be off stage too often because he wants to get his charge up as much as possible, and he can edge guard you with side B a lot easier, I feel like, than with anything else. And if he is going off stage to edge guard you, Nair is so much better than down air. I feel like that he doesn't really have much of a usage for down air. The only time I really feel like I see it is if he is like snapping the ledge and you're right under him trying to get back and he ledge drop down airs. That can get a spike, but most of the time I feel like you're also able to take the stage whenever I get hit by that, at least. So I don't know. I think it's a pretty mad down air. It has so much in lag, just makes things just way worse for it. I'm not going to lie. But I would say it is a good down air. It's just not better than any of the other ones, I wouldn't say. So we'll put it in top of meh. Fox. Fox's down air is 100% acceptable. Fox has one of the better down airs in the game whenever it gets the sweet spot. But the thing about his down air now, I feel like, I don't know if they nerfed it or not, but I know they nerfed his combos and stuff. Whenever he first came out, he was able to do all these like crazy infinites and stuff like that. And he could literally just do down tilt at ledge and then instantly down air you. And I would say 9 out of 10 times it would probably spike you and you're not making it back. And the fact that Fox also has some of the best recovery in the game means that he can go for 2, he can go for probably fucking 3, and he can go for forward air 1-2 as well, and that also spikes. But his down air is actually pretty good, I will say, especially off stage. You won't really see it used too much in neutral. It can be used in combos and set up for tech chase scenarios and stuff like that, but it is very good at spiking, I will say. It can also do the stage spiking as well, like the edge of the stage spiking, so he doesn't have to commit to going off stage to do it. But like I said before, if he does, he can just always make it back, so it doesn't really matter. So his down air is actually pretty good. Alrighty, Gwen. Gwen is also going in the effing please delete. I don't care that this character has, actually, I'll put her at the top of please delete. Her down air is one of those down airs that's like, why? Like, what were they thinking? Her down air is so weird. And the reason that I'll say it's better than S17's is because it is a matchup check if you don't know that you can't grab her when she does down air. You have to wait a little bit because her body isn't on the ground and your grab will normally go right under her feet. That's literally just a little matchup check. If you don't know that by now, something is wrong. But that makes it a little bit better than S17's. The other reason it also makes it better than S17's is because with the sticker, it can somewhat make it safe. It is not fully safe, and it can be parried or jumped over, obviously, and it is very predictable. I feel like once a Gwen has a crystal out, they're probably going to down air or they're going to F smash. Both of those moves just have so much in lag, but the move itself, it is not good in the damn slightest. It is just one of those moves that's like, bro, why do we have another suicide down air character? I hate these characters that have those, or I hate the fact that they have those type of down airs. If you could like maybe cancel out of it, like jump halfway through it or something, it might be a little bit better. It is just one of those down airs that's just absolute shit. It is not good at all. Please delete. Alrighty, and Icy. Icy is also another one of those characters that has a suicidal down air. The one thing that I can say about Icy is she is a little bit different than Gwen because she does have the ability to charge her ultimate with a down angled move. Problem is, Nair 1 into down B confirms, and that will instantly charge the ult fully. Her down tilt is also broken as hell, so using down air makes you stupid. There's never a reason to use down air except maybe the same thing as S17 where she's like off the stage and wants to make it back a little bit faster. She can down air and then up B to the stage, whatever. It's just such a terrible move. It's not really good at all. But I would say that I feel like S17's might be a little bit better actually now that I'm thinking about it, because the shockwave that S17's has whenever she hits the ground, some people can still get hit by, especially if you're trying to like parry that hit and you accidentally don't, then it can, I guess, somewhat make it safer if you know you get hit by that. But either way, you don't have to parry it. You can just get hit by both of them, or you can just block both of them and get a punish. But Icy's, to my knowledge, doesn't have one of those shockwaves whenever she hits the ground, which I guess technically makes hers a little bit worse, but they're all shit. They're all terrible, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, hers is going in please delete. Probably the worst down air in the game, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And Tutu. I think it is a safe contender to say Tutu and Macalon are the best two down airs in the entire game. Tutu's down air, on the other hand, is so active because it's 3 hits. It combos at so many percentages. It combos at a super high percentage. It sets up for tech chases. It sets up for so many potential combos because down air, if you do get a tech on the stage, you can read and react to where they go, and you can just get a dash attack and go for, guess what, another down air. And you can do that to like 70-ish, 80%. Character is insane. And not to mention, he can jump off stage and do 2 down airs and still make it back. So that is like, I don't know what the total active frames of her down air is, but that is a lot of activity when it comes to her damn down air. And if it doesn't kill you on the first one, she is probably going to do a second one. The problem with this is that around like 30-ish to 40% forward throw at ledge, if you DI in or DI out, depending on where you are at the ledge, like the Tutu player, he can run out, jump, and down air you, combo you. And if you're not ready for the second down air, you get hit by it and you die. Same thing if you DI in. It is just not okay. So yeah, forward throw down air, dash attack down air. Her down air is just so good. It's so versatile. If you put that on any other character in the game, I'm sure they wouldn't complain. So yeah, she's definitely got a top 2 down air. I don't really think it can be argued for top 1 because Macalon's is just way too damn broken. No questions asked. But yeah, guys, this is gonna be it for the tier list. This was relatively a quick one, I feel like, but I was actually recording for 48 minutes, so I don't know. Either way, let me know what you guys think about the tier list. Let me know what tier list you would want to see next, whether it be best nair in the game, best back throw. I'm even probably gonna rate animations as well. So if you guys do want to see something next, please feel free to drop it in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this tier list. I got a lot of hate for my other tier list that I made, and I can agree. There were a couple of things on there that didn't really make any damn sense. I had Alice's placement way too high, I'm not gonna lie. I just had a lot of hope for the character, but now that I play her a lot more, she's kind of ass. So let me know what you guys think about the down air tier list, and let me know which ones you would like to see next. And I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe on it if you are new. It has been Dreezus, and I'm out. Peace.